Alright, going to go through here real quick and show a few of the map tools that we can use. So first, I'm just going to put this house here to show the flattening tool. That house is not right. That's just a sample house from the pack. So we'll have different ones later. But anyway, for now, let's figure out where we want it. And actually, we could put a few of them and do like a little neighborhood just to show. Control D is duplicate, by the way. Okay, let's do that for now. So this is where we have to manually sculpt. So you go to the terrain tool right here, and it might be on this tab. You have to make sure and switch it to the tool tab, which might be there, or it might be, it might not even, if you don't have it, go up here. Be one of these things. Anyway, so then you're there, go to sculpt, smooth, or flatten. And then you have the strength, the height, fall off. So you'll see the brush here. And then you can do these. So I'm going to do it smoothly, or linear. We'll just do like completely flat. And then you have to set the height. So I'm not sure what the height. Pretty low. Okay. Oh, there we go. Radius was too big. Okay. So there we do that a little bit. See, that's too low. So we're going to undo. Raise the height up a little bit. That's closer. Oh, that was, radius is too big now. And you can do the fall off on the radius too. So the radius is the inside circle, and the fall off is the outside circle. So we're going to do a bigger radius. We don't want, so about like that. See, that's way too big. So undo again. Radius. Try something more like that. And you can hold right mouse button and then do WASD to navigate around also, which is good. Okay, so that's kind of flat. Let's do a little bit over here, it looks like. Okay, now we're going to highlight all of our houses. Control Shift down arrow, which snaps them to the ground with the normal. That's why that one is crooked. If we just do Control Shift down arrow or Control down arrow, it doesn't do it to the normal map, which means it just does it flat. But that shows us that this ground isn't flat over here, so I'm going to flatten it a little bit more. And then do my houses again. Control Shift down arrow. Nope, that one needs raised or it's not going to snap right. And for some reason that one's being weird. But the rest of them are about there, you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and skip that for now to make the video quicker. But that's the gist of that one. Smoothing is the same thing, but I don't think we really need to worry about smoothing right now. Everything is actually pretty smooth. Okay, now the other tools are the generators. So to use the generators, you need to use a polyline or a spline, which is right here. So click that. For forest generators and such, use a polyline. For roads, you have to use a spline. So we'll start with a polyline, and we'll do, I could do like another forest or whatever. Did I lose that forest? I must have. Okay. Oh no, right there. Okay, so there I've done 2 of them. So we're just going to do one. Let's do right here. So you're going to select your new polyline, Control left click to start your first point, and then same thing, hold Control and just keep clicking. And you can go through and adjust these points later, so it doesn't have to be, perfect the first time. Just get a basic general shape. Okay, and then to close it, you go to the Properties tab, and you have to be on the shape entity right here, and is closed. Okay, so now it's a closed shape. I'm going to save that. Now we're going to look for a forest generator. So the generators are like FG underscore, that's forest generator. And then click here, then you have all these forest generators. And of course we can make our own as well. So I'm going to pick one of these. Whatever, forest spruce. Okay. And it has to be a child of the line. Do that, let it generate. There you go. If you don't want it that dense, you can change all this stuff right here. So this is the outline level, outline big level, top level. So that's like the tallest trees. And then you have like undergrowth and all these different things you can do. And then clusters. So let's say we want the top level less dense. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, maybe you can't do it on that, but you can do it on certain parts here. Right there. There we go. So that's for all of the tree groups. So density. And then after you do that, you have to go up to the top of the component and click Regenerate Entire Forest right here. Click that, let it generate. You see now it's thinned out. So there's all kinds of other generators. Runway generator. Oops. Okay, so the generators are going to be in here in Reforger /prefabs /WE generators. And then you have all these different kinds of generators. Power lines, so you want to do some power lines. I think those probably would use a spline instead of a polyline. So let's try that. Vector tool, new spline. And I'll do some power lines from whatever. New spline, control click, control click, control click. There's some power lines, okay. Now we will drag the power line generator. I don't know the difference of them. Lightning rod. I don't know. Let's try that. Boom. Check it out. We got power. So yeah, learn to use these tools and you can do pretty quick work. And then also, like I said, I'll make new generators based off of the base generators class. So any ideas for those, let me know as well. Road network generation. Okay, so I forgot. That's different than, I'll have to learn more about that. But normally road generation is just like these, RG underscore. Then you have road generators. You could put it on the spline here too. And then we have a road underneath the, that's just a trail. Okay, that's the wrong one, but. Asphalt dashed line, that's the main one. Boom, so now we have a road right with the power lines. And it has that on it right now, the carved terrain out. So go back to your object properties. You can turn off adjust height map, and there it just goes right with the height map. So the main things are just knowing, being on the right entity over here, and then you have different options on your object properties. You can make it wider. So all this stuff you can do just like this. And then just remember that you need to look at your different tools. So if you're, doing this, you need to go to your vector tool if you want to change those things. Right there's vector tool. Then you can change the nodes. Well, somehow. What else? I guess that's probably good for now. On the terrain tool. So you have smooth, noise. Noise is like if you want to just give it a little bit of, like, humanize it, make it a little bit more random so it's not static and flat. But you don't want that much. Just a subtle effect. Whoa, terrible. So see, just a little bit of character or whatever to it. I think that's pretty much it. I can go over other stuff later. All right, peace.